Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today it's a trio of decks. It's the Parlour playing cards from the Gentleman Wake. If you don't know the Gentleman Wake, you should absolutely check him out. He is one of the best playing card content producers on YouTube, has tons of great deck reviews and interviews, other content. He's actually one of the guys who inspired me to start my own channel with deck reviews. So absolutely check that guy out if you have not already. But this is his very first attempt at producing a deck of playing cards, and he didn't do it alone. For his highly successful Kickstarter campaign, he collaborated with a couple of other luminaries in the business. The cards themselves were designed by Stockholm17, and the tucks that we're looking at here were done by Oath playing cards and Lautrec over there. So a lot of people came together to make these decks a reality. Let's take a look at him and find out more about him. Now, the name, the Parlour, is actually a reference to the parlor where Gentleman Wake films most all of his videos. So you can see the kind of library and other kind of gentleman pursuits that are in the background of all of his different videos. And so that kind of became the inspiration for the deck itself. Comes in 3 different colors. You have the red, blue, and the black. The red and the blue are kind of the standard editions, and then the black is the limited edition one. So we're gonna take a look at all 3 of them, but we're gonna start off with the red one. Now, with the tuck case, it is what they call a wine red color. It's this crimson, almost maroon color, really nice color to the matte finish of the tuck case, but it is covered in both gold and bright red foil all the way through. Now, the red foil is just kind of adding some extra little embellishments, some patterns around the edge, but in the gold foil, you've got the Parlour playing cards in this really fun font here. It is for players, collectors, and card enthusiasts at the bottom. And then you have this gold band down the center with the Gentleman Wake logo there in the center. And then you've got the MX, MIX on the sides. That's the Roman numerals for 2019 when the deck was produced. So that red and gold foil on the red background, it's a really great look. Love how it looks. I will say, if there's one knock, and this is probably one of the few knocks I'm going to have in the entire deck, it's that the gold foil isn't super clean. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but you can see some areas when you get in really close where it's just not quite as clean of a look to the gold foil. There are a couple little spots in it. You can see a couple of the specks here, and those kind of show up all throughout the deck. So some of the finer details don't show up quite as well as you'd hope. That said, the color combination is a great one. Now, turning to the side of the deck, you've got poker side linen finish with a continuation of that band on the side. On the other side, expertly crafted and finest quality. Bottom has your ad copy for Stockholm17, Oath playing cards, and Cardamundi, who printed the deck. And then at the top, it just says the Parlour playing cards. The back's going to be a foiled version of the back design of the cards. We'll go into some of the design elements in a minute, but you can really appreciate just how good that red foil looks on this one. Really nice look to it. Love the exterior of the tuck case. It's got great embossing all the way through to give it some extra luxury finish to it, but really well done. You get a kind of unique little touch here with the triangular cutout, not usually what you see, but you can see the Gentleman Wake logo just peeking out. And as you open up the tuck case, you get the finish of it, as well as presented by the Gentleman Wake. The interior flaps here, one of them has an S17 for Stockholm 17, and the other one has a 2 of hearts reveal. You get really beautiful finish on the interior of the tuck case as well. Gold foil and almost a paisley or floral sort of pattern going all the way down. And at the bottom, one extra fun little reveal says, your card. An extra little thing you can use, for an is this your card sort of cheesy magic trick. So very cool tuck case. Couple magic touches already seen in it, but let's look at the cards themselves, and we'll start with the back design. Here it is. Get that kind of crimson color, really beautiful red color. It's not a solid red. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but you can kind of see a little bit of variation in the color there if you go really close in. It's very, very subtle, but it gives a bit of extra texture to the card, which I like. The dominant feature is going to be the two spade pips here, which are a stylized version of the Gentleman Wake logo. You can see the T, the G here in the center, and then the W forming the swooping sides of the spade. You have the 17 in Roman numerals right here in the center for Stockholm 17. And then you've got the two beetles or scarabs on either side. Additional all kinds of floral and leaf work going all the way around. And then a thicker than usual, I would call it kind of a medium to even thick poker border on the outside, finishes off this really classy and classic back design to the card here. Really nicely done. Love the red color on this. It's a really nice color and not a tone that you see on a lot of other cards. Flipping it over, we're gonna look at the extra cards first, and we'll start with the two jokers. First thing you're gonna notice on the face of the cards is it's not a pure white. This is a little bit more of a cream color, so a little bit of yellow in there. Gives it a little bit of an aged finish. Really do like that. And then you have these two old-timey looking drawings, kind of reminiscent of 1800s gentlemen that you might see on the street. And these two kind of look like street salesmen or street performers. So you have two characters here. You have Shakespeare the Cat and Sir Fox. Sir Fox is selling his custom playing cards for 17 cents on the street. Obviously a little bit of a nod to Stockholm 17. Leaning against his box with his cane and his fancy suit there, looking off into the distance. And then the other one was Shakespeare the Cat. He's leaning up against a sandwich board and advertising his sign. So Sir Shakespeare the Cat, Nickelodeon, watch for 5 cents. So the One Cat Band, established in 1877. So there's your red and your black jokers, just finished with a classic star in a circle in the corners. Love those. Very cool designs to the two jokers. So there are those. Now you do get a blank face card as a gaff and an ad card, a well-designed ad card for the Gentleman Wake and Stockholm 17. Includes 2019 here in the center, and then you've got the Beatles on the sides. You've got the gramophone at the top, and then Sir Fox and Shakespeare the Cat make another appearance in the bottom corners. Nice ad card. Now, the cards themselves, they're going to come not in regular, typical new deck order, but something that's come a little bit more trendy. These come in mnemonica stack order. So great memorized stack that's very popular for a lot of mentalist card tricks, and one that you see a lot more decks coming in nowadays. So it comes in mnemonica stack order, but it does have the Ace of Spades right on the top, and one of the more custom cards in the deck. Features a very large spade pip. It's that Gentleman Wake logo again with the TGW. Says the Gentleman Wake presents the Parlour on the kind of banners throughout here, and then crafted by Stockholm 17. A fairly standard index and pip in the corner, slightly custom font. You'll see it a little bit more prominently on some of the number cards. And then the spade is framed by these two lion-headed canes. So very nicely done, designed to the Ace of Spades. I will say that this spade kind of has a little bit of an intaglio or engraved sort of look to it when you see those kind of finer lines. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of that style, but really only on those spade pips, not throughout the deck. So very interesting. The number cards themselves are going to be fairly standard. The red, again, it kind of has that dual tone that you can see there. Little bits of darker red in with the lighter red, which gives it a little bit of a textured look, so the pips are not completely uniform, but it's a little bit more of a kind of crimson or a blood red than you might see on a typical deck. The blacks are more of a true black, and here you can see a little bit closer look at the custom fonts that you get on those pips. Or on the indices, rather. So there are the number cards. Otherwise, they're fairly standard. They're going to be very familiar. The court cards themselves are all going to be slightly customized. The faces are a little bit updated and modernized. And in the hands of most of the court, you're going to see these kind of different gentlemen's implements that you might find in an old school parlor. So in this case, you've got the feather quill there in the hand of the Queen of Spades. There's the Queen of Diamonds with the magnifying glass, Jack of Spades holding the opera glasses there. So flipping through these a little bit quicker now. Just call attention to a few of the others. So the King of Hearts, this is actually the Gentleman Wake himself. So that's his face swapped onto the King of Hearts. And in his hand, you can see the 7 of Diamonds reveal going on. Going through the rest of them, there's that cane that we saw in the Ace of Spades, also in the Jack of Diamonds hands, the revolver for the King of Spades, King of Diamonds. There's your Jack of Hearts with a pipe in his hand. King of Clubs, this is one of my favorites, all of the black skull on the sword there. And there's your Queen of Clubs with the letter opener. Queen of Hearts is actually the Gentleman Wake's wife, and I believe that that microphone is meant to be a little bit of a nod to their YouTube channel. And finishing out the deck. So that's it. That is the red deck of cards. Handling is going to be really, really nice with these. Cardamundi does a great job with their linden finish. So these are going to handle really beautifully. But that's not the only deck in the series. I promise we take a look at the other ones. So let's take a quick look at the blue one here. Now it's mostly going to be the same deck, but it's going to be color swapped. So now the background, the tuck case is a navy blue, and then you've got the bright blue foil to go with that gold foil that we're looking at before. Really nice look to it. I think for my money, I will say the red probably looks a little bit better in hand, pops out a little bit better in pretty much any light compared to the blue, but they're both really fantastic color combinations. Really like both of these. The rest of the tuck, all the details are pretty much the same. The only other difference is going to be on the card backs. And this one, again, I really love the shade of blue that they've chosen. You do get some slight variation in the blue color, hard to show up on camera, but just like the reds, and it's this navy blue color. Really beautiful. I think that between the blue and the red, between the two standard decks, I think I like the card backs and the color scheme of the backs a little bit better with the blue, although the red tuck is the one that I'd probably prefer of the two. That said, they're both really, really nice decks. So there's the red and the blue. And the last one to show you is the black. Now this is the one that is limited. It's got a gray, black, very dark gray matte finish tuck case with the black foil. I love the look of black foil on a black tuck. It's a really nice look. Gold goes great with it as well. There's the back. I will say, for what it's worth, while this is the limited tuck, it's actually probably my least favorite of the three. Depending on the light, some of this black on the back really just kind of fades in. You don't get quite as much pop as the others. That said, in the right look, this is a super elegant look. So can't complain too much about the black one either. Now it does come with a custom seal across the bottom. So they applied the postage stamp seal across the bottom. That way you don't have to tear it to open up the tuck itself. But you'll see here it's numbered out of 5,500. So it is limited and was only produced for the Kickstarter campaign. That said, it was a really successful Kickstarter campaign. So they sold a lot of them. So 5,500 is the numbering on this one. I've got number 4664. Love the style of that numbering there on those tubes. So there is the custom seal. And then as you go into the cards, this is where the other big difference is going to be. So same printing on the interior of the tuck case, but the real difference is going to be on these card backs. And this is where they really quite literally shine. So the card faces, no differences. But when I flip this over, there is the backs of these. So this is very reminiscent of what was done like on House of the Rising Spade, also by Stockholm17, with that heavy use of gold foil on the back of the cards. You've got black details with a little bit of white, but then gold foil all the way around the border, and a lot of the details in here, including the beetles, the center elements here, and some of these designs are on the side, are all done in really just beautiful gold foiling. Despite the gold foiling, I will say these actually handle very, very well. They fan still really beautifully. The foil does not get in the way at all. I will say I've had a few foiled back decks, and I have not seen anybody that does it as well as Cardamundi does in terms of maintaining the handling with it. So that's the real draw of the limited black one. So that's it. That is the 3 decks. Now, what would I use these for? Now, obviously, these 3 are going to look just great as tuck cases on display in your collection. But the cards themselves, I think they are pretty much usable for anything. You can use them for gameplay. You can use them for magic. You can use them simply as an art piece to kind of display and enjoy. Really highly useful for anything. That said, if you are using them for magic, you may notice it really, it came with already a lot of different details. It had the blank face gaff card. You've got reveals both on the tuck and on some of the court cards, but it doesn't stop there. As part of the Kickstarter campaign, Gentleman Wake and Stockholm17 also put together the Gaff pack. So this is one extra that came with the campaign, and it includes a series of Gaff cards. So you'll see it's kind of this thinner tuck in this perforated box, but as you pull it open, here, let's see if I can get these out, you get a series of extra cards, and they're all going to be kind of unique Gaff cards. So one of them, you've got a double backer blue, double backer red, you've got a double backer with red on one side, blue on the other. You have another blank face card for the blue deck, another blank face card for the red deck. You have a double face card here with the 7 of diamonds, ace of hearts, another double face with the 3 of hearts, ace of clubs, another double face with the queen of clubs and ace of diamonds, and then a couple of fun ones. So here's a split face card with that queen of hearts split with the 6 of clubs, otherwise a standard just blue back. You have the ace of clubs here, but with no pip in the middle. So something you can kind of use to, hide that you've got the aces here, or put a thumb over the middle, something along those lines to kind of hide the card that you've got. This is another fun one. So you've got the 6 of diamonds, but it's been disrupted by the ace of clubs in the middle. So I'm imagining you can use these two kind of in some sort of combination where, you press the club through to the other card, and all of a sudden you've messed up the 6 of diamonds, something along those lines. And then you have this 6 of diamonds with a split colored back. So you've got red and blue on the 2 corners. You have an extra king of diamonds, but this one's holding a 2 of spades reveal. And last but not least is a 2 of hearts that actually features the king of hearts and queen of hearts, a Gentleman Wake and his wife, together on the deck. Very fun little one. And in his hand there is an ace of hearts reveal. So a last fun little extra here with the special 2 of hearts court card. So include some extra fun court cards, so really amps up the use of this deck for Magic. So that's it. That is the look at the Parlour. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did not pick this up on the Kickstarter, I definitely recommend go find somewhere where you can. This is an absolutely wonderful deck of cards. Gentleman Wake did a fantastic job, ran a great campaign as evidenced by how highly successful it was, and really delivered with the cards, every single deck. So definitely check these out. And hey, for my channel, let me know what other decks you want to see. Subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you for the next one.